Hi, and welcome to this video on how to use PSec GEARS for fixed income analysis in the South African financial markets. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about pricing nominal bonds and some related functionalities. So the relevant functions are listed here. You're welcome to pause your video to just have a read, but we're going to go straight into the first thing, and that is, how does one price a listed fixed coupon bond? So from the theory, what do we know? What changes? So the first thing would be the trade date and the relative settlement date, but also the yield at which your bond trades. So if we want to trade on the 23rd of April, actually let's update this to today. This one, so for yesterday. And we want to trade the R186. And what do we want as an output? So there's several options available. So you can get the all-in, you can get the clean accumulated interest, you can get your all-in UR, which is unrounded. So JSE standard is 5 decimal places at this point in time. And this will just give it to an infinite amount of decimal places. Not that that is required. And you can also get the all-in consideration. You can get your risk statistics, the duration, modified duration, convexity, rand per point, your deltas. But we're just going to go with the all-in. So I'm just using this list to specify what's possible here. And for the yields, we're going to go what we've covered in the previous video. So we want to know what the yield was for yesterday. I'm going to put actually, I do need the yield, and the date is going to be yesterday. And we have to divide this by 100 as it's outputted by a number. Consider split, so this is just if it has to consider split maturity. We're just going to say false. Nominal is going to be 100, so if we want the considerations for these, we should specify the nominals. And then coming to the actual function, this is the pf.bond_v, v standing for vanilla or nominal. And here we're specifying the output, we're specifying the bond code, we're specifying the settlement date, which from the trade date will be just having to add the work days. So we're coming here for the trade date, we're adding 3 days. For the yield, we're using the yield where it traded yesterday. And then consider split is going to be false, and the nominal is going to be 100, which doesn't matter for getting the all-in price. And let's get the JSE market-to-market all-in just to verify that our outputs are correct. We're going to get the bond code, we're going to get the output, and we're going to get the trade date. And of course, remember, for the JSE market-to-market, the base nominal is 100. The default here is per 1 rand nominal, so we can multiply this by 100. And you can see that the rounded all-in price are identical to 5 decimal places. And we can change the rounding quickly just to make that better. And if we change this to the all-in unrounded, of course, this will not be recognized, so let's just quickly change the output here to the all-in just to compare to the unrounded. Apologies. So you'll see that there are differences here, and we can change it back to the all-in. You can see here that if you come to the considerations, because we need to take away the 100. Actually, let's leave this here. We can just make this bigger. But that's multiplied by 100 if you have that consideration. But let's leave that. Cool. And then, of course, if you want to generate a bunch of outputs for various bonds, you can just pull the yield with the pf.market-to-market function. Remember to divide it by 100 to get a percentage, because the bond v function does require the yield to be as a decimal. So you pull the yield, so you pull this for each bond, and then you can use your bond v function to generate these, and you can drag this formula across. That's how to price a listed fixed coupon bond. Up next, we're going to calculate the total return of a bond over a holding period. And of course, the total return reflects both all the changes in all-in price of the bond and also the accumulated interest. And if it's over a longer horizon, if there's a coupon paid, how you reinvest that coupon. So what we're going to do here, we are looking for a total return of the R186 from yesterday and the preceding 10 days. So what the start yield, so just using pf.market to market, we can get start yields for bond codes for specific dates. Output, we are looking for yield to maturity, and the date is start settlement date is there. And always remember to divide by 100. And then we are going to do the same for the end yield. So end yield and settlement date. Let's put yield to maturity in here. And the date and settlement date is yesterday. Of course, you can define this in the same function, but there's always good practice to separate out these so you can reuse them. The reinvest rate is going to be 10%, which might be unrealistic, but it's an easy example. So if the bond pays a coupon, we're reinvesting that coupon at 10%. Consider split, false, and then actually calculating the total return, we're going to use the pf.totalReturnV, V for vanilla. You also get, for average inflation, these are ILBs, total return functions. Total return V. We are going to use the R186. We're going to input the start settlement date, the end settlement date, so your investment horizon, what yield you bought the bond for, as this will reflect changes in all-in prices, and then the reinvestment rate in case it pays a coupon, which is unlikely in a 10-day period, and then consider split, which is not strictly necessary, but let's put this here. And our total return for the period was 0.86%. And in this block, if you download this Excel workbook, you can just verify the total returns. So here we are calculating the total return for each day individually and then chain linking it. And we can see that the total return was 0.086. So this matches with our total return here. And then another functionality in the nominal bond space is when we want to calculate what the yield would be at a specific all-in price. So what we would do here is we'd calculate what the yield would be for yesterday. So let's get the all-in for yesterday. We are getting the bond code, we are getting the all-in, and we are getting the date. And our all-in is 107.2. What we would need now is pf.find. So one of two functions, we're going to go through this one next, but find yield given an all-in. So we have the R186 as the bond code, and so some of these will require settlement dates, others will require trade dates, but we are settling on the 17th of May. We are getting our all-in price, and we should be dividing this by 100. We could also divide it in the cell over here, and we're not considering a split, false. So here we are finding that I believe I need to change this trade date to the settlement date. Oh no, I lie. It is the trade date. So these are exactly alike. So we found the yield, given that the all-in price is 107.2 per 100 Rand nominal. And conversely, we might want to find by how much yields would need to move for a bond for a total return to be achieved. So let's say we want to find over a year, add months, let's just add months, 12, this might not be a business day, but that's fine, equals to pf dot market to market, and we are getting the bond code, we are getting the yield to maturity, and we're getting the date as the start settlement date is yesterday. And let's divide this by 100 just to get the actual percentage. The reinvestment rate, we're going to stick with our 10%. Desired total return, let's also make it an easy 10%. And we're going to find what the yield needed is, which is pf.find yield total, given a total return. We need to supply the bond code, we need to supply the start settlement date and the end of the horizon, which is a year from now. And then the start yield, which we've got from our market-to-market valuation function. And we want a total return, desired total return. So what yield do we need to achieve a 10% total return over the next year? And the reinvestment rate is going to be 10%. So whenever this bond pays a coupon, we're investing that coupon for 10% for the rest of the investment horizon. And so we need our yield to drop from 9.19 to 8.78 to achieve a desired total return of 10%. And that's this video for working with fixed coupon pricing and related functionality. See you in the next video.